What is up, Zoms? And welcome to episode 6 of Theory Chat. Good versus evil. Today we're mainly going to talk about all the different good guys and bad guys, bigger than Bakers, bigger than me and Ethan, the big corporations, and how they might fit into this, as well as just go over some of the news that's coming out this week, as we are less than 2 weeks away. I'm assuming everybody can hear me. I sort of heard myself with this horrible connection here, audio-wise. And the first question, instead of saying hello, is on a scale from 1 to 10, how excited are you for Resident Evil 7 coming in less than 2 weeks? Give me some numbers in the chat. And what's up? I've got the green screen behind me, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to work that well. So we'll just have a green screen like usual. The music is quite loud in the background. So let's see if my mouth is moving with my face. Well, I think it is. All right, we've got Dillajon. He doesn't even have it over 7, but he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Host says 11. Jim Jones says 100. Genshin says 11 out of 10. That is 11 divided by 10 is 1 point something, so that's actually a lower rating than you think. Goldheart says 12. Mel Blanc says 100. Host 10 billion. Google Plillion. I don't know. There's so many numbers. Jack Baker. So what's up, everybody? Just give me another second here to get everything all cool. All right, so much stuff kind of happened, I don't know, the last couple weeks. Welcome, Wheatley, to the Crimson Army. Thanks to everybody who's subscribed. I think there's 4,500 something Zoms now in the Crimson Army. It might even be way higher than that. It might be 4,900. I don't know. But you guys are all awesome, and you're all excited about the game, and so am I. I will be live streaming the game at midnight Eastern Standard Time the night it comes out, which is Monday the 23rd nighttime, which technically is the 24th, I think. And I'll be playing it all day, like 12 hours, so you'll go to sleep, you'll wake up, I'll still be playing it. All sorts of stuff like that. It'll just be like nonstop Resident Evil 7. Alright, so this week, what we basically had was a bunch of videos about the different corporations that might be the good guys or the bad guys, and we might have talked some of this last week when we were talking about where Mia and Ethan fits in. But let's start by talking about the new video that came out, and it's a music video from Japan. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to link everything, but after the stream's over, all the links will be there. There's an official Biohazard rap song by a rapper, spells U-Z-I. I think it's pronounced Yuhi or Uji or Uhi. Anyway, that is funny because the video, the song is very weird, and it's in Japanese, I guess. And it has so many more dislikes than likes. And I can't give you that number now because I can't find it. But these are for the images that were, well, 3 of these images are new that came out of that video. And a lot of you might have saw a new trailer, quote unquote, this morning. From Biohazard France, which is all they did, it seemed like, was just pull all this out of the music video and make their own fan trailer, but they didn't name it fan trailer. Did anybody listen to that song in the chat? And if so, did you like it? Did you hate it? let me know that. And while you're answering that question, I'm guessing nobody watched it because it was only on the Biohazard Japan channel. And it was, I mean, it was all right. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I didn't listen to the whole thing through. I just spent a lot of time pulling these little images out. But the Rusty Spoon says he listened to it. Sprouse did not like it. Goldheart said it was so-so. Brian hated it, but he's a metalhead. Host never heard of it. So the top left image is kind of the main image that people have been talking about today. And that is Lucas. And he's got a prisoner whose hands are tied. And basically what Lucas does is he cuts the hands free. And people were looking at that by itself. And as they looked at that by itself, they thought, oh, maybe Lucas is a good guy because he's trying to help. And you guys can let me know. Let me tell you the whole story before you answer that question, though, if Lucas is helping here. The trailer shows first Lucas dragging this character into a cell, basically a room in the house that's got a bolted-up door. He drags him in, so he's actually kidnapped him. He's not helping him out. He's dragging him in to kidnap him. And the only thing that he does before he leaves, and the character is locked in this room, is he cuts the hand ties off so his hands are free. And Lucas is probably thinking he's sort of being a nice person. The guy can't escape because the door's bolted shut. But as you know from every movie and video game ever, you don't give anyone any advantage like, cutting their hands, because I'm sure Ethan will, or whoever this is, will find a key. And pretty sure that it's Clancy and not Ethan in this. One of the clues is the color. And the color is that blue color. And that's kind of the color of the VHS tapes. And I don't know why I can't get my camera on the screen here, but... So that's the color of the VHS tape. And then earlier, if you rewind that trailer a little bit, it's also in the Tape 3 trailer. Not the cutting the hands free part, but the part before it. You can see his shirt, and it's a gray shirt, and it's the same exact shirt Clancy is wearing in the kitchen demo. And basically, do you guys think that Lucas is going to become a good guy based on this? He's not letting you free, but he's kind of giving you a little bit of a break. I know that happens in movies all the time, and that's how the person ends up escaping. The person who kidnaps feels bad for the person they've kidnapped, and they're like, oh, okay, here, have some more food or water, and then that's how they always end up escaping. And it seems like that might happen here, where Ethan, or whatever character meets up with Lucas, maybe they take advantage of his generosity, even though he seems like he's kind of an a-hole character. But maybe he'll have a change of heart. So, yeah, let me know in the comments. STSN says maybe Lucas will set him free to chase him for fun, or that he had a change of heart. Blue Sheep, maybe Lucas has personalities. That would be funny, because that M. Night Shyamalan movie where they've actually done the same thing. They've kidnapped someone in a room, and the guy has all these personalities. Brian says he thinks Lucas will help out eventually, especially if there's a Lucas DLC, and I'm still not putting it past us that we'll have a Lucas videotape to watch at some point, but Brian makes a good point. That might be a DLC. Conte says Lucas looks really suspicious. Resi Fan wants to know if people are trying to if Lucas is trying to help. Rusty Spoon said Clancy had a bracelet. I can't tell, but is the bracelet on his left hand? Because it looks like there's a bracelet on the left hand of that guy right there. Because the hand ties are really skinny, but his left hand there has a thick thing. Yeah, Brian says hoodie strings. Yeah, that's Lucas's sweatshirt there. So that's Lucas pulling him in. And I wish I could show the video, but Lucas pulls him into that room. And then the scene right before that in this music video was that tape in the top right corner. And that's a new area. So far, we've seen a TV in the demo house where the sewer gator tape is, and we think that that's going to be in the same real game in the same area. The tape might be on the table because we've actually seen the tape in 2 different places. If you remember all the way back to E3, the tape was actually in the room you wake up in, and the character puts it in the VCR there. The second TV is in the pool room, the rec room, where the pool table is. And that one is probably the Mia tape because we know all the people who played it, the media, they actually were in that room. So that might be where the Mia Lantern tape is. And this might be now the third tape that we've seen, and the Clancy tape. Nemi thinks Lucas is mentally unstable. He might attack and help depending on the situation. ResiFan thinks he'll become good. And thanks, everybody, for joining tonight. 57 Zoms watching right now. 21 thumbs ups. That's the button right down there with the thumb, and it's facing up. The comments are going quick here, so I'll try and keep up with everybody. Yeah, and Swifty says it's basically him just, taking the bag off the head or pulling the thing out. It's almost like something every human does, even if they're bad, just kind of being like a human and helping, but we're Zoms, so we're not even human, so that's cool. And then the bottom 2 photos, the one on the left is new, and that shows the weapon from far away and how it works. And a lot of you watched the video where I thought it was a bug's leg, and I was convinced. I zoomed in. I didn't just go, oh, bug's leg, and I looked at it for like an hour, and I saw like little things coming off the side, and I was like, it looks like the chainsaw's there. And then I zoom in, I see the chainsaw hanging off sideways, and it just completely threw me off. But it turns out it's like a giant scissors, as you can see in that bottom left photo. And the left thing is just a jagged metal rusty blade, and the right scissor is a chainsaw. And there's even something on top of the chainsaw that may swing too. So it's pretty crazy weapon there. And one of the videos that I did this week was showing you all the melee weapons we've seen Jack with, which was a shovel, he's got an axe, but it's a dull axe. So, here, let me get out of this. Everybody's seen that. So he has like a dull axe instead of a sharp axe. And it's almost like he's trying to torture Ethan, or he doesn't want to kill him, but he wants to hurt him. He wants to play with him maybe. Because that axe is super, like he should easily be able to sharpen that thing. Especially if he can create all these tools. And it'll be interesting to see what else Jack makes. The other tool we've seen is almost like a rolling lawnmower or a paint roller, and it's got all these nails into it. So when he swings it, it spins like this, and the nails will go in and they'll start, they'll go into your skin and start ripping it out. It's a pretty crazy weapon. I'll be interested to see if Jack has made any other crazy weapons and what the designers of the game did, because they've got like kind of sick minds. They must have watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, stuff like that, torture movies, to get the ideas for some of these weapons. And they're sort of like something that he finds in his garage, and he somehow creates them. So he's definitely handy with tools and weapons. And I'm thinking, I don't remember the commenter's name. We had a commenter who said maybe Jack making these weapons, and he's good with his melee weapons, because he has special training. And we do know that there's an army statue in the house somewhere. So now I'm thinking that maybe Jack is an army veteran, a retired army veteran, and he's got some training. He's just really old, and this is giving him strength and giving him his power back so that his training is actually effective again. And Jack doesn't seem to use any guns, and we know that there's guns and grenade launchers and all sorts of stuff laying all over the house. So why isn't Jack using a gun? And that may also be he's using the dull axe. He's trying to not kill Ethan. Although in the game, you're going to die. And Jack's going to rip your head off with a chainsaw. We've seen that in the ratings. So, I don't know about that. So what do you guys think about Jack's melee weapons? Do you think they're scary? Do you think they can get more scary? And do you think that Ethan will be able to pick them up? I don't think so, but do you guys think maybe Ethan could pick one up? Do you think that we might be able to break them? There's so many questions about these Jack Baker weapons that we have. Conte says, going to die a lot in Resident Evil 7. Jim Jones says Jack could be a retired Umbrella soldier. Blue Sheep says his dad's in the army and they don't learn how to swing battle axes. It's just an axe. You don't know how to swing an axe. Everybody knows how to swing an axe. The training would be like making the weapon and being effective with it. And yeah, people are commenting on my hair. It's not really afro-y today, but that's cool. Zassine says Vietnam War. Blue Sheep says taxidermied alligator weapon. Yeah, that would be funny if he was using something like that, because we do know that there also somebody in the family is a good taxidermist, because we've heard that there's creatures, not live creatures, dead creatures, stuffed creatures or whatever, taxidermied, that make up these doors. So it's like a real scorpion that's been stuffed or something on the scorpion door. Ryan says the scissor chainsaw is intimidating. Yeah, and so he's going to be closing in on you like this. If you got headphones on, the sounds are going to be loud. If you're in VR, he's going to be right in your face. And the music is going to go up and intense. It'll be like a big crescendo. And, I mean, people's hearts are going to start beating. It looks really good and really scary, the way that Jack is kind of chasing us, even though I'm not a huge fan of the Outlast in Outlast when they chase you, but this kind of looks different. It looks like it's more intense. It's harder to run away than it is in other games. So Genshin says the weapons are hype and they're probably exclusive to Jack. Dilla John asks a good question. People have been asking, do you think we can shoot the weapons like almost in Fallout? Every time I compare, it's to Fallout. And in Fallout, you can target the weapon, and if you shoot the weapon of the enemy, you can break it, or it'll knock it out of his hand. Somebody asked me the other day if they think, might have been Swifty, if Jack swings the axe at you, will it get stuck in the wall, and he'll try to pull it out? This will be great for the audio podcast people. All these episodes are going to be available for podcast download, so you could put them on your iPod and listen to them when you're working out. Yeah. Let's see here. Zassine says maybe you get to kill the family members one by one. King Bob says Jake is going... Jake? Who's Jake? Lucas is going to be a real tough fight. Pierce says everything is not what it seems. Jack says, Ethan says, who the hell are you people? Yeah, there's somebody's been pulling off some different sound bites of Ethan, and he's basically just like, Mia, what are you doing here? And, who are you people? Stuff like that. All right, so that covers that news there. What else was there? There's the London experience. Is anybody from the UK? Anybody live near London in the chat right now? And is anybody actually going to go to that? That's another one. I really screwed up on these links in the description today, but Resident Evil posted an actual live trailer for this event in London, where it's just going to be like a scary haunted house or something. And in that trailer, they show Marguerite, they show Jack, they show Lucas, with like live action people. So it's not, it's not part of the storyline or anything. It's just a cool video to kind of see. I know one of the guys, actually the first guy who ever went into a Where's Barry live stream, I'll always remember him. He is going to try to go. He lives out in London, so. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people from the UK, like SSUK. I saw him in the chat here. But, he's from Scotland, I think, so never mind. I figure, everything's like 5 minutes away over there. What else was in that one? And then the merchandise. Has anybody purchased any of the different items? The candle, the wallet, the keychain, or the, what's the other thing? Oh, the coffee mug that changes. And if you don't know, there's 4 officially licensed items that sell for way more than they should because they have the license, and you're basically paying for that license. It's a website called Merchoid, I think. And they've got a coffee mug, and when you pour hot coffee into it or hot water, a red bloody handprint appears on the mug. They've got a candle that smells like blood, and unfortunately for everybody, that's sold out. Goldheart says she'll get the coffee mug. Now the website claims there were only 3 coffee mugs left this morning. There was only 1 wallet left. Now the other 2 are a wallet and a keychain, and it's like those don't even look cool. But Gungo Frog got the keychain. Just kidding. It looks awesome, Gungo Frog. Yeah, I've been asking this for a couple days. You know, are you gonna get it? Everyone's like, I might get it, but they're all gonna sell out. The candles already sold out, so that's cool. And did people get their little guys yet? I'm tired. I'm gonna get you, but I'm gonna tip over because my head's so big. I was supposed to go there today, to GameStop today in my area. There's about, I live outside of Washington, D.C., and where I live, I think there's like 20 GameStops within 15 miles of my house. And some of them, the ones a little farther out, still have some of those characters. So I'm going to go buy all of them, hopefully tomorrow. Maybe I'll wake up early tomorrow to get that. Brian got his. Did I miss something? Oh, Hunter says wait for eBay. Do not overpay for these things. They're like, this thing cost me $20, $20, and they have 2 of them. There's one that glows in the dark or something. And then the Hunter's also like a $20 one. The other ones are 10, and people are buying them on Amazon for more than they're worth. But I guess everybody doesn't have 20 GameStops like I do. Yeah, at Hot Topic, this thing was $20, and I think the Hunter at GameStop is also a big one, and that's $20. And the glow in the dark one I'm assuming it's a big one. So I think that covers everything in the video. So before we move on, I just wanted to once again welcome everybody to Theory Chat. This is the 6th episode. We talk about all the different videos that come out and the different theories, and basically I want to hear what you guys have to say. It's hard because the chat goes quick, and there's a lot of chats in there that are just random questions, but I try to stay on topic with what we're talking about, and then I'll be able to read some of your answers. In the original couple episodes, I would get distracted. I'd be like answering different questions, so we're trying to stay on topic for this one. And we'll have one more episode next Wednesday, and then the game comes out after that, and I'll be live streaming that on Monday night at midnight, all night long, 12 to 24 hours, whatever, I don't know. However long it takes to beat it, play it all in a row, take a nap, play some more. So all week long, I'll be live streaming it, so there might not be as many videos, and there won't be a Theory Chat the following Wednesday, because I'll just be playing this game like a maniac, nonstop. So after you guys beat it, come check out my thing. We'll look for more secrets in mine. Once I get through it once, it'll be more about looking for secrets and exploring and trying different things out. If you guys watched me play the demo, there was one night where I just, for 1 hour, I fought the mold monster, and when he died, I reset it and fought him again and reset it and just did stuff like that. So I'll be trying to do things like that. And I might be dressed like Jack Baker when I do it. If you guys have watched the live streams before, which are several weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, depending on if I have time or not, I wear some stupid things, and I look like an idiot half of the time. And I look like an idiot the other half of the time because of this. Jorge Menendez, welcome to the Crimson Army, and thanks to everyone who has liked this video, 49 or so people, and subscribed this week. I mean, this week's been insane. There's been 100 subscribers in the last day, basically, which is really awesome, and you guys are the best. So let's go on to the main topic of this episode here, and that is who could possibly be the bigger entities involved in this game. We know that Ethan's going to be escaping the Bakers, and it's kind of like a small little game here of escape, chasing, and some other side characters, the police officer, Clancy, Mia, maybe a couple other characters that are locked up. It seems like this house has multiple dungeons, or not dungeons, but rooms with locks, cells, stuff like that. So who is going to be the bigger picture? And it might not be anybody. The producer, June, whatever his name is, I think he did Resident Evil 5, and every time I mention him, people are like, rah, he did Resident Evil 5. But he said that nobody's pulling the strings, and we're all looking at it too deeply, and it's only Ethan versus the Bakers, but I don't believe it. I think there's going to be a cutscene in the beginning or at the end. More likely at the end. I think the beginning, they want you to think, what's going on? We don't have no idea. So I don't think it'll be in the beginning. I think it'll be at the end. But it'll be, you know, what corporation or how did the virus get there or where's it going after the game. I find it hard to believe that Ethan's going to go into this house. He's going to kill the Bakers all by himself. And then the virus is going to disappear forever. He's just a guy that's... I'm just a guy looking at a girl. He's just a guy trapped in a place. And he wants to escape... He basically wants to do three things from what I understand or what I've seen so far. He wants to escape and live, obviously. That's what we all would do. It seems like he also wants to save his cheating, lying wife. Well, she told us in the trailer she lied, so that's why I just added that. Like, we all kind of think Mia's kind of shifty, I think, based on her telling us she lied. And then he wants to cure his infection. And you've seen his arm with the stitches... And you've seen his the way his arm looks. And when he pours it on the serum or whatever, it gets better. But he's got some kind of infection that I think he can't just escape because he might die of this infection. So I think he's also trying to solve that puzzle. So there's like three different things happening here. Goldheart says she would just leave her. I would do the same thing. I would escape, and I would get the heck out of there, and I would run away. And you're thinking, so let's say the game is that micro, and Mia dies, Ethan somehow cures himself, the Bakers explode, the virus is gone forever somehow, I don't know, and Ethan just gets out of there, or even the Bakers are alive and Ethan escapes. He can't, if he goes to the cops, they're not going to believe him and stuff like that, so he might just walk away and the game might, the Bakers might just continue to live out after the game, or... Yeah, I don't know. It's so confusing, like, with what would happen. But let's say, for the sake of this episode, that there are other bad guys involved. Umbrella is the one that everybody says. Swifty says it's confirmed Umbrella is dead for good. This is a video game, movie, soap opera, cartoon. That's what we're dealing with here. Nobody is dead forever. There's no way. You can bring anybody back. They did it in soap opera where someone came back like 30 years later after they fell off a boat or something. You can always bring someone back. And anybody can start a new, take over the Umbrella or whatever. And Conte says Umbrella never dies, and that's sort of true. And the reason that that's also true is even though the company Umbrella is dead, the stuff that they worked on for all those years still lives on. Like their legend lives on. So even if the company is dead, Umbrella still has something to do with this could still have something to do with this situation based on an old virus that they've done, something like that. We do know from the trailer there is a building somewhere in the game, and it says 3F, third floor, and a boat would have... We think there's also a boat, but a boat they wouldn't call them levels or floors, they would call them decks, like this... Deck 1, Deck 2, something like that. So we're thinking there's another lab or factory or something, and the picture that you might have seen it's now on the cover of some of the editions in some of the countries. It's like the cover art. Shows like a weird thing that kind of looks like a factory. So I'm thinking there's some kind of factory involved or umbrella thing. So the Umbrella stuff could still be there from a while ago. And one of the most popular videos on the channel was a theory that George Trevor designed this plantation and the Spencer family lived on the plantation, and there was an Umbrella facility either underneath it or nearby. And I'm thinking, why would a bad guy come here? So Jack Baker's and the Baker family has this virus, but why are the bad guys even going to come here? And it would be to get this virus and use it for evil purposes, I guess. And how would they know the virus is here? They wouldn't just say 20 people disappeared, it must be a virus. There's some kind of clue that would draw a bad guy here if there is a bad guy. And I think it would be either an Umbrella lab. They've got, Frickin' A says Umbrella has many abandoned labs around the world, and they do. And there's one talked about in the manga comic that's on some island in South America. There's the European one. There was Raccoon City one, or the Arclay Mountain one, I mean. So, Umbrella, while I don't think that they're actually in the game or whatever, I think that they are kind of the grandfather of everything. And after doing looking at all the different things and looking at the research, the one that I thought sounded the best, and I know everybody's doing it now, they're like, oh, it's cool to say this because it's part of the comic book, but is the Sheng-Ya and the Umbrella Corps. It seems like Capcom really loves this Umbrella Corps thing. How many of you, let me know in the chat, have played Umbrella Corps? How many of you refuse to play it because you've looked at it and it looks horrible? And is there one person out there who actually liked the game? I know I've had a couple commenters tell me they liked it, but on the live stream the other night, I said when I was gonna do this video for the Sheng-Ya, I said I'll buy Umbrella Corps and play through it just so I can learn more. And people were like, if you do that, I'm unsubscribing. They were joking, but I never got attacked so much for anything than saying I was going to buy Umbrella Corps. So I actually looked into it, and the game doesn't have a lot of storyline to it, if any. All the storyline that I learned from the video came from playing cards on Steam and like the website from Resident Evil, like that, Capcom's website, where it tells you this game's about this and that. But from what I understand, there's a group of mercenaries called the Umbrella Corps. And in other Resident Evil games, we've seen a group of mercenaries come in. They had different names. They weren't called the Umbrella Corps. This one's called the Umbrella Corps. And I believe what happened was when Umbrella died, all the mercenaries that used to work for them or they used to hire kind of formed together in this other group. And different pharmaceutical companies around the world are hiring them to, I guess, pick up bio weapons and samples from around the world. And the Umbrella Corps game had 10 different companies, and the one company that sticks out is this Sheng-Ya, because they are also in this comic book I keep talking about. It's called Heavenly Island, Biohazard Heavenly Island. I think they're on like volume 4 now or something, and it's a Japanese manga comic, so you can find it online if you search hard enough in English, but I don't know that they publish it in English. And it's supposedly canon, according to the Resident Evil Wikia page, and those people are usually pretty on top of what's in the storyline and what's not. And basically in that, there's like some stupid thing that takes place in the South American Ocean that just happens to be next to an old Umbrella abandoned lab. Shocking. And in that lab in South America, you guys probably don't even know this if you didn't watch any or read any of the comic things, is where Alex Wesker did her research for Spencer on immortality. So this abandoned lab in South America is where Wesker spent all her time. What we learned in Resident Evil 5 was Wesker ditched Spencer and took all the research and just left him, and we think maybe she didn't work on it. But now we find out she was working on it in South America, and there's different biohazard stuff down there, zombies and hunters and stuff. So there is an island down there, and also involved in that storyline is TerraSave, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but Claire and TerraSave are also involved in this alternate storyline that takes place in 2014. And in 2014 is the same year the Bakers disappeared, and it's the same year that Mia disappeared. So 2014 seems to be a big year here, and that's how the connection with the comic even makes more sense. But Sheng-Ya basically hires the Umbrella Corps in this to go in and do stuff. So they could be hiring the Umbrella Corps to go into the Mansion Plantation to collect the sample that the Bakers have they don't, Umbrella Corps might not even know that the Bakers have this sample yet. They just think it's in an Umbrella lab and the Bakers stumbled upon it. Or the boat that's in the water that explodes in what we think might be the beginning with Mia on it. That might have been the source of the virus that washed ashore, and now the Umbrella Corps knows the boat crashed and follows it, and that's how they get in there. But the Umbrella Corps is actually, while the game doesn't seem like it's that great, the story was intriguing to me that these mercenaries are for hire and they could show up anywhere. And I think Capcom wants them to remain a real thing. And they've even put Umbrella Corps' logo on the cover of one of the books that they're giving away in a collector's edition for Resident Evil 7. So that's interesting as well. All these companies are supposedly dead, too. Well, Sheng-Ya isn't, but Tricell, I believe they're supposedly dead. A lot of people think, well, what if they come back? I don't know much about Tricell. And I'll have you guys answer the question once we go through all of them, but that's basically all I'm saying about Tricell, because I don't know much about them. This is the other one that intrigued me, and that is Neo Umbrella and the family. Again, Resident Evil 6, I played it recently, but I don't remember the storyline. It didn't stick with me. But Neo Umbrella was led by the Ada clone or something. This lady here in this picture. And somehow she was connected to the family. Welcome to the family, son. A lot of people put that together. But the reason that this is sort of intriguing is because at the end of Resident Evil 6, or at the end of this part of Resident Evil 6, a helicopter comes down and they shoot this lady, and it's like a mystery character, and we don't know who it is. So there's some mystery character in this group called the Family that's out there. I guess the Family killed the head guy, but there's somebody else. So this is a group that's actually not presumed dead that I know of. So, and it's like I wouldn't say it's like the Illuminati or whatever, but it's like a secret underground cult people that try to make America better, but sometimes that means hurting other people or something. Not exactly sure about that. So these are your choices here. We've got original Umbrella somehow coming back. We've got Sheng-Ya and the Umbrella Corps. We've got Tricell. We've got Neo Umbrella, and we've got the Family. And we've also got Other. So what do you guys think of all these companies that are bad guys? Which one would be most likely involved with Resident Evil 7? And like I said, it could be none of them. It could just be a smaller scaled story. Black Puma says Neo Umbrella. Goldheart says Other. Conte says Other. STSN says the game is going to be a mind bleep for sure. I'm excited to find out what happens because my mind's about to explode. I mean, all these different companies, they're all in my head. I don't know what's going on. I have to play Resident Evil 5 again. I don't want to do that. But I need to know more about Tricell because I don't know about them. And then I'll have to play 6 again because I don't remember the storyline except for... So basically Resident Evil 6, as soon as I saw a clone, I was like, this game, what is going on? Albert says original Umbrella revived by old Umbrella workers. Dwayne wants a new character. Lewis, or MW Lewis, says Sheng-Ya. I think it's Ye. It says YA with the line over it. I think that's pronounced Ye. I'm probably getting the Sheng part wrong. Matthew's talking about BSAA. Yeah, we're going to talk about the good guys here in a second. Genshin can't choose between them. Dwayne says organization. Yeah, I haven't even talked to all. Blue Sheep said Starbucks. I don't think that's very likely. Redfield says Neo Umbrella or Sheng-Ya. Now I'm just trying to think how the game could end without the virus outbreaking into other parts of the country. How could this end with Ethan? Is Ethan going to somehow destroy all the samples? Is he going to accidentally do it? That's the reason I think there's some bigger thing involved, and there's going to be a continuation from 7 to 8, I guess, or I would think. Some connection in the story, and even maybe 7 to the next side game, whatever they've decided on that. Or maybe not. I don't know. There's so many possibilities. And Redfield says the house explodes. Black Puma says burning the plantation. Yeah, for sure that is a classic Resident Evil thing. And one of the things everybody wants to see the merchant. Everybody wants to see, herbs. They like to see ink ribbons. We're not going to get that. But, these classic Resident Evil things that when you see them, you go, oh, yeah, Resident, yeah, oh, yeah. And you get, like, that feeling inside, yeah. You're, like, going to go fight people because Resident Evil's pumping you up. For me, it's when it's usually towards the end of the game, but it's when the alarm goes off and it says, all employees report to the platform. That one, that is what I love about these games. So I know we're on a plantation. It seems like they're showing us all this plantation, maybe a church or something. But if we do get to a factory or a basement lab and an alarm goes off and it blows up, then I'll be like, Resident Evil! So that's one of my one of the things that makes me remember Resident Evil, because I would panic. It would be like the alarm would go off and I would start to panic, but there was no timer. There's always the Resident Evil alarm with no timer that gets you like all, oh my god, I don't have an ammo. So, now I'm getting all excited thinking about classic Resident Evil. So this game, which every reviewer I've seen has said is so much like classic Resident Evil. So I cannot wait to play this. It's so awesome. Next, we're going to talk about the good guys section. We talked about the bad guys. Let's talk about the good guys. But first, I just want to, again, thank everybody who's joining us tonight for the Theory Chat. This is the 6th episode. They're all on YouTube, available to watch, and they'll all be in podcast form as well. We'll have one final Theory Chat next Wednesday before the game comes out, and I don't know what we'll talk about then. Hopefully, there won't be too many spoilers out next week. I don't know when people are going to review the game, when things are going to leak. So you might want to be careful where you go on the internet coming up in the next week or so, because some stuff might start to leak out, as we've seen a lot of real as well as, or possibly real, as well as definitely fake leaks that have happened so far. If you like the stream, click on the thumbs up. I see 62 zoms did that. That's more people than are in here. So that's really awesome. Thanks to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. There's been a bunch of new subscribers today. And I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's all /Where'sBarryB. I do a lot of Instagram stuff. And I spend a lot of time on my Instagram. I go through all these trailers basically every night, frame by frame by frame. I pick out cool photos. I add some Photoshop stuff to it. So follow me on Instagram. I work a lot on that. I spend a lot of time on that. So it's cool to see people reacting to that now. And then Twitter, I'm on there all the time. That's the best way to contact me. And also on Facebook. A lot of people go to Facebook every day at work. So that's another good place to find the new videos popping up if you're not notificated. And then live streams weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And those will be more figured out after the game comes out. When the game comes out, it's like non-stop live streams. And then we'll figure out where to go from here, because I'm not exactly sure where to go from here. And we'll find out what happens. All right, good guys. We've got the BSAA. This is Chris Redfield's organization. I believe Jill was in it in Resident Evil 5 as well. So Chris and Jill. We know that there's not a main character that's an old character, but could there be a connection at the end, some notes in the game that links somebody to somebody? One of the photographs that we saw months and months ago was of this guy who's right here, and he looks like he's a dead agent, and he actually has a patch on his arm. It's not in this photo, but there's other photos. So he's a BSAA guy, and we don't know what game it's for, but that kind of made me think, okay, so what if the BSAA was involved? How would that work out? And it would work out just the way we talked about with the bad guy coming in to steal this virus that Umbrella might have left behind or whatever. The good guys are going to come in and try to stop it. So I doubt that there's going to be a big fight in the game, but there might be like a team of BSAA agents or a team of Umbrella Corps, one or the other or both that are around the area. Possibly we never even see them. It's all happening outside this main story, and we might not even find out till later or the next game what happened in the previous game. So the BSAA would be cool, because that would give a chance to kind of connect Chris Redfield or even Jill. And yeah. So does anybody think that the BSAA would be involved in this situation here? Or do you think that's a little crazy? I always thought we might play a VHS tape as this BSAA agent, and he might be on a solo mission to do something, and it might be way in the past. So this BSAA might be in the game, but they might be in the game 10 years ago. And that's kind of the fun part about these VHS tapes being in the game. While it seems like they're all recent VHS tapes, they're all happening at the same time. It seems like there could be a whole time thing with that. But they could do a VHS tape that was back in the day and could connect some old characters or old organizations. Dwayne says the FOS, Leon's organization. Yeah, that would be another one. Everybody wants to see Leon. I feel like we've seen a lot of Leon. We've definitely seen a lot of Ada. And she would be more on the bad guy side if a Neo Umbrella, I don't know. I don't know what she would be part of. And then the other organization, and this is what we were talking about before when it connects back to that comic book, and I call it a comic book, is Claire and TerraSave. And TerraSave is kind of like a hippie organization. It's like if Greenpeace met, what's the other one? The Peace Corps or something? I don't know. But they go around and they make sure everyone's following the right standards. They check all those big companies we talked about from Umbrella Corps. TerraSave will go in and do inspections or something like that to make sure everything is safe in terms of bioterror. And so they would be another organization that might be snooping around if there's a virus, because they want to make sure these big companies aren't leaking this virus. And that would be where the boat comes into play, because they are on the boat out in South America finding the same thing. Umbrella Lab, they show up and they try to figure it out. This could be another Umbrella Lab somewhere else. They try to figure it out. And the boat scene that we think happens in the beginning, possibly, might be TerraSave inspecting the boat or something like that. And that's how TerraSave might know about what washes ashore, because they might be following this boat that might be one of these big pharmaceutical corporations that might have a BOW on the ship, which is that little girl. And then one of the original theories we've had, and a lot of people have had, was the pet cemetery theory, where Ethan or Mia, their daughter, dies, and so they want to bring this daughter back to life, so they go looking for a solution, and that solution could be through a virus, plague, whatever, and it could have turned their dead little girl into a monster like Pet Cemetery. When you bury the pet, it comes back to life, but it's like evil now. So they could have done that to their own daughter, and that's another thing that might involve a big company, and that would not involve TerraSave. But and then you've got to think, all these characters now, who do they work for, or who did they work for? We've got Ethan, and Mia. Where did they work? Was one of them Umbrella? Was one of them TerraSave? I think the video was Mia working for TerraSave and Ethan working for Umbrella. Those were the theory videos that had the most connections and information. But yeah, so, and then you've got the Bakers. Someone mentioned earlier in the comments, maybe Lucas is an undercover BSAA agent. I don't think so. But you've got those people. Was Jack the janitor at an Umbrella lab, and then he stole some virus when they fired him? You know, was Marguerite a scientist? Epsilon says, my opinion is the BSAA and TerraSave won't be involved until near the end. Goldheart says Mia and Ethan could be working for other unmentioned companies. Yep. They could also just be regular people. But I feel like Mia, I think Ethan might be a regular guy. I actually think he's like a teacher or something. But Mia, she's got some shady stuff happening with her. Evan says they could be working for the Sheng-Ya. And Dwayne says, if any of these big organizations are involved, it would be like a small cameo, like, is that a spoiler? Darth Vader in Rogue One? You mean they'll come in and they'll do like a zinger? I can't remember what he said. He's like, oh, you can't breathe now, you know, something like that. Yeah, and the other cool part about this game, Resident Evil 7, is if they connect, you know, the Easter eggs that they throw in. And the people who have played the game said there's an Easter egg with Clive Owen from Revelation 1 and one with Alyssa Ashcroft from Outbreak. Just like a mention of their name. That's another thing that could be cool if they mention different organizations or names. And it connects this little story to the outside world without bringing the big companies into the story to ruin it and to keep it a cult-style movie then instead of a big blockbuster, which is what they're trying to get away from. So these big company theories are interesting, but it sounds like they don't want that to happen in the game, and that's why I think it would happen either after the game's over or right at the end or after the credits, because it wouldn't be part of this like scary survival situation. It would be like too big. Albert says BSAA comes in at the very end to help you out, and Ethan and me are like kind of late. Now this is what I actually thought. Somebody's mentioned a comment earlier. What if Ethan goes through this whole game and he does everything he can to save Mia, and he's like he turns it from this regular loser guy to like this, that his wife cheated on him or wife, you know, lied to him, and he turns into this hero throughout the game. He learns how to kill the moldy. He learns how to shoot guns. He learns how to mix these things all together. And at the end of the game, he finally destroys the Bakers. Like, they're about to kill him, and he's got one bullet left, and he fires it, and he's like, oh, we're all saved. And then the BSAA comes in, and they shoot him because his arm is infected or something. Now, because he does have an infection, so he might die at the end, or they might quarantine him, or he might turn into something. It's like anything can happen in this game, and that's another fun part about it. But I was just thinking, what if we go through the whole game and right at the end, they do the classic zombie thing. You see the guy has a bite, you kill him. Although these big companies have, they have like vaccines and cures and stuff now, so they might try to quarantine him, but they also might try to kill him. Host said then it would all be pointless. But wouldn't that be a cool ending to the story? No, because so Ethan has basically saved the world in that situation. He doesn't know it, but he saved the entire world from this virus. So there is like a happy ending, even if he died at the end. He's just one guy, one ordinary guy, saved the world. He didn't need to punch a boulder. He didn't need to shoot a rocket launcher. He just did it on his own. And then died a hero, basically. But yeah, I was thinking about that today. John says he doesn't think there will be an organization, just discovering secrets and trying to escape. And one day we'll talk about Resident Evil 7 and we won't mention another game. Because Resident Evil 7 Outlast is like this big compared to Resident Evil 7, which is huge. Most people haven't played Outlast. That's like, how to, like, whoa, it's like Outlast. No, this is like a big game. I don't think it's, I don't know. Everybody brings up these smaller games, but this is like the powerhouse. But I'm like a Resident Evil homer. I just love the series so much, even though I didn't like 5 and 6. I just love the series, and this game has got me so excited about it with the herbs and the, well, the herbs are in every game, but just the way it all looks. The exploring. I want to explore that mansion so bad. Oh, and here's another thing. What about for these bad companies? Maybe Natalia, who is now a teenager, or like college age maybe? I don't remember how old she is. 16, 17, 18? What if she's in charge now of Neo Umbrella, or she's in charge of something else? Because inside of her is Alex. Now, would they connect a Revelations game to this directly? That would be interesting. Alright, so that's basically all the stuff we wanted to cover here. Where are we at on time? 56 minutes. Wow, that was almost perfect timing for this 1 hour episode. I forgot to send the tweet. People are going to be like, oh, cool. And when it's over. Alright. And remember, guys, if you talk about any spoilers or any words from the spoilers, you'll get in timeout. I know I didn't say that before. I should have said that because most of the names are blocked. But if you spell the names wrong, they get in, and then you get timed out. So, yeah, let's just finish up with any questions that you guys have or any comments that you have about basically anything that we've talked about. Again, Instagram at Where's Barry B, Twitter at Where's Barry B. Those are the places to be. Facebook at Where's Barry B. Thanks to everyone who subscribed. Thanks to the 72 thumbs ups. Thanks to this, there's probably 100-something people that checked it out for at least a little bit. What's up, Dorian? Did you just check Twitter and then come late because I tweeted it 56 minutes after it started? And everybody, please say thank you to Goldheart, who's in the chat. She's the main moderator of my channel, along with me. And she's here to help us get the spoilers out of the way and to get the people who are annoying that are trolls out of the way. She's doing a good job of that and letting everyone know about what's going on with the channel. 98 Demon contributed $20, which was awesome. So thank him. Next time you see him, he's not in here tonight. As well as King Nate. King Nate donated $10. So give him a thank you because these guys are helping out. And it helps make these things better. As you can see, this one was a little bit more advanced than the last episode with different screens and stuff. But as you can see, the green screen is not on. It looks so flat and green. I don't know why it didn't work perfectly. But this hair really messes everything up. And, oh yeah. That's the ticket. You can, if you go to my About page. I don't really ask people to do it. It's just if people care to do it. It's on the About page, I think. I don't think there's a direct link to donate. It's just on my channel. If you just go to my channel, where'sbarryb.com, there'll be like a green thing. And if you do, make sure you leave a comment because YouTube's annoying and they don't like tell me. So Demon sent me a quote and it was like, I love the channel. I'm like, that's weird. He's been in the live stream every night. Why did he send that message? Rick, I think you're the only one who can't see the stream. Has everybody seen me on screen the whole time? I'm watching it right now. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for liking. After these episodes are over, I will be in the chat for 5 to 10 minutes just to kind of end these episodes. So thanks to everybody who has followed on social media, and thanks for all the tweets. When I run these shows, you can always send the comments go quick. So a good way to contact me during the show would be to tweet me. Oh, Breezy tweeted me. Do I think the $90 deluxe edition of RE7 is worth it, and should I get it? I think so if you're really into the game. But I don't know that you have to buy it right now. But don't take my word for it. The price might go up on the DLC individually. And Red Forge, I will be doing a live stream at midnight on Monday the 23rd, which is technically Tuesday the 24th when the game comes out. I will be playing for 12 straight hours minimum, or unless the game is shorter than that, but I'll probably play it through a second time. And so once the game comes out, there'll be about a week where every time you turn on the YouTube, I'll be playing the game. And then when Resident Evil 7 when everything dies down, we'll get back into theory videos, brief walkthroughs, stuff like that. L1, the issue is that it's the Elgato software that runs the green screen, so it's like, and it's the hair that messes it up. If I wear a hat, it'll work, but my hair will not allow it to work correctly because there's so many spaces in between that hit the green. I didn't want it to look with the green shadow. If I do a video with the green screen, it'll work perfect because I use my software. All right, everybody. My time is up here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Thanks for contributing. Keep the comments coming on the videos. Your theories help me develop my theories, and everybody works together, and it's a lot of fun. So thanks for all the support. I started this channel like 6 months ago. It grew to, it's almost 5,000 zombs in the Crimson Army right now. It's incredible. We're going to have shirts. We're going to have all sorts of fun stuff once the game comes out. So keep staying tuned. And thanks a lot. Catch you later, evil dudes. And bye, Amanda.